Hi, this is the help video for Word Chapter 3, Pause and Practice 3.1. So I'm going to begin by downloading the information that I need for the pause and practice for all of them. So I'm in my SimNet and I went to, Word Chapter 3, the green top. I'm going to download the resource. It's going to be, once again, I'm in Chrome, so it's at the bottom. If you're in Firefox, it'll be up top right corner. I'm going to open that up, and it has in it the all the things that you need for this assignment, including the instructions, any files that you need, and then copies of the instructions. I'm just going to go ahead and say extract all. Mine's going to go to my downloads, and that's all right. So I'm going to extract those, and I'm going to close out of that. So now what I want to do is I need to go to my Sim book, right? Or if you have your physical book, then you would open your physical book. And I would look for the first pause and practice. So I would have already done my Let Me Tries and learn about the content. So here I am at Word 3.1 Pause and Practice. I also want you to note that file could be downloaded from here. So I'm going to open up Word and open up the personal training program. And let's make this so you can see these both. So I got this in here. And so the first thing that I need to do is enable the editing. And I'm going to turn around and save this document. But it says Word 3.1. But I know that if I scroll, there's 3.2, there's 3.3, and I'm at the chapter summary, right? So I know there are 3 pause and practices for this chapter. So I might as well just name the file to the ending, and then I don't have to keep renaming it. So I'm going to do Save As, and I'm going to put it where I can find it. You can put it wherever you want. It's your initials, PP for pause and practice, W for Word. We're in chapter 3 dash, and there are 3 pause and practices. So that's how you decide what the names are. We're going to go ahead and save it. And so now I have step 1 and 2 done. Change usernames and initials. So the whole point, this whole 3.1 is about using comments and tracking changes. So if you look at this document, you can see over here there are comments and who put those comments in and when. So that's one thing, is there's comments attached, right? So right here, the word developing, if I follow it over, here's the comment. The other thing that you can do is track changes, and that is if you're working on a document with a group of people, oftentimes it's easy to lose track of what changes have happened. So if track changes are on, that is a very efficient way to register any edits that are made to the document. And if you are the owner of that document, if you are the person ultimately responsible for it, then when those changes are done, you get to choose whether you accept those or not, right? And they're all outlined in the document, so you won't miss any changes. So you can move through those proposed changes and decide whether or not you want to keep them. Now, comments are just informational pieces like, oh, maybe we should do this, or don't forget to do that, but they aren't actually changing content in the document. So what we're going to do is click the tracking launcher. So that's in this review tab, and it's in this tracking group. We want to open the track changes options dialog box. So we're going to go in here to tracking. We're going to click on that dialog box. Here is my track changes option. All right, so we got that. Click the change username, and Word opens the options box, right? So you need to verify that it has your name and your initials, and then that always use these values is selected. Mine was already set up because I'm at home and I've already done this. So I'm going to do OK and OK. So now when I go to put comments or make changes, they'll be associated with me, as opposed to, if you look here, Kelsey, right? So every individual within this group that's maintaining this document would have their own name attached. So if we move to step 4, let's look at what we're supposed to do. Change display for review view. All right, so we are in the review tab. So we want to click the display for review drop-down list. So that's in my tracking group. So I'm going to click that. And we want right here where it says all markup, that's our display for review. That's what do you want? Do you want the original? Do you want it with all the markups applied? There's different choices. So let's take a look at simple markup, all markup, no markup, and original. So no markup would be with all the changes applied. Original would be before it. Simple markup would be just within the, let me click on that and show you. And then all markup is going to give me all of this. So what do we want? We want original. So that's going to go back and take it back to the document before any changes were made. Okay, so none of the changes were made. And let's do no markup. So that's going to be the document as all of the markups or all the changes have been applied. So one extreme to the other. First one is nothing applied, it's the original, and then no markup means all of the changes have been applied. Okay, so original and then no markup. So if we go back a page, right here, table 3.1 gives you those definitions. So simple markup is the final version, but it has a red line next to where a change has been done. All markup is the displays all of the changes. No markup is the final version without any comments or any lines showing, and original goes back to how it started. Okay, so we did the original. Now we did no markup, so that's the final version. Right? And now we want to do simple markup. So let's try that. So I have all of the changes incorporated, but there is a line indicating what the change, that there was a change there. If I click on the line, it brings it up. If I click on the line back, it takes it away. So it's a way to look at the document in its final version, and then when you're wondering what the change was, you can click it. All right, but it shows you the final. Okay, and then let's see, tracking, that was simple. And let's do that. Okay, we want to do the show comment button, and that hides the comments and you get the balloons. You click on it again so it's selected. See how it's gray? It means it's selected. It actually has the pane where the comments display. Not selected and you have comments, all you see are balloons. Okay. All right, E. Just click the display for review and select all markup. So right here, all markup, it goes back to showing what the original was and what the changes were. Okay. So number 4 was just, there wasn't really anything. It was just to look at and practice with what you were doing. All right, so let's look at 5. Display the reviewing pane and reject changes. Click the reviewing pane drop down and reviewing pane. We want to review it vertical. So over here on the left, the changes and who did them are showing. All right. Find the moved bulleted item, Kelsey Kroll, moved, right here. Right click on this and we're going to reject that move. We want it back to the original. So I'm going to click on it. It's rejected. The document is returned to the original and it's removed from our revisions. All right, find, let's see, right click. Okay, we did that one. Click on the X and get rid of that. All right, so we rejected that one change. We are now going to go to the home position. So I did a control home. I'm at the very top. And on the review pane, we want to do the next in the changes here. So I'm going to expand this a little bit so maybe you can see that. Okay, so in this changes, reject, previous change, next change, accept. I'm going to accept this first one. It automatically takes me to the next item, which is a comment. Click the next button right here. 1, 2, 3 to locate the next tracked change. So we moved past these comments and now we're on this personal training program. We want to click accept and then we're going to click the bottom half of accept and we're going to accept all changes. Okay, so we don't have to go through all of them. So really all that's left is our comments. I'm going to take a second and save this document. And we're going to resolve a comment and reply to a comment. So we're going to go to the beginning of the document. And I want to, in the comments, so now we're working with comments, we're not working with changes. So we're going to come over to this comments group. And I'm going to do next. So it shows this Kelsey Kroll, and I want to resolve it. So I'm going to click on the resolve. It's going to gray out, and it's marked as resolved, right? It becomes grayed out. So now we're going to do next over here to the be sure to include. And where did we go? Right here. We're going to reply to that. So instead of resolve, I'm going to click reply. Thank you, comma, will do. And we're good with that. So then we're going to do the next. And we want to delete that one. So in the top half of the delete button, not down here, but up here, we're once again in the comments area. We're going to click on that and delete it. We're going to do next, and we're going to hit delete. So what we should be left with is the resolved and the replied comments. So now what we want to do is add comments to the document. So we're going to go back home, Control Home, and we're going to put a new comment in. So we're going to click here, and it's going to say proofread this report. Okay, I can't type. Proofread this report one more time. Let me make sure I got this right. And why do I have this wrong? Proof. I didn't spell that right. Okay, so we're going to... all right. So now we have a new comment at the top that just says, hey, remember to proofread this one more time. So now we're going to track changes to revise the document. So we're going to come here where it says track changes in the tracking group. We're going to click on the top half of the button, and what we've done, see how track changes is on, off, on, off. We want it to be on, and find the word basic in the first section heading here. So we're going to replace basic with general. Do you see how, because we have track changes on and my color's blue, it's coming out here in blue. It leaves the old one and what I suggest the change is going to be. All right, after the word training and before the space in the second section heading, so right here, training, we're going to put program, space, program. Once again, blue because it's me. Yours may not be that. We're going to turn track changes off. And they're off. Let's save this document, and we are done with 3.1. All right, thank you.